promised you poets, and I am a man of my word, and it's good for a poet to be something of his word, if whatever he may be. And we have Marion Palm, and we have Andrew Clark, and we're going to start with Marion Palm, who is a Scandinavian-American poet and singer. As Robert Benchley once said, she served the hitch in the Scandinavy. And don't blame me, that was Robert Benchley. That one. She's the director of a Brooklyn-based poetry workshop for published writers and leaders, which is funded by various sources.
Right.
They call themselves Poets Under Glass, which can get pretty hot in the warm weather, I understand, owing to the greenhouse effect. She lived in Sweden and Minnesota, although not at the same time. But her first love is, of course, Brooklyn.
Right.
And we're back in Sheepshead Bay. Let's see, what else is she's written a whole mess of chapbooks. Well, not a mess, but a clutch of them. And let's see, what are some of your titles?
Some of my titles?
Yeah, on the chapbooks.
On the chapbooks. Oh, well, I have a few of them with me. Nightingale Day Songs,
right.
Which the foreword was written by Norman Roston,
right.
our poet laureate of Brooklyn, who passed away recently.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And
did he get to keep the title?
I know there were a lot of people running around and you know, trying to be the new poet laureate of Brooklyn, and I think Howard Golden is just going to retire it.
Somebody tried to get me to be the poet laureate, but I didn't want to be.
Yeah, I mean, Norman was so qualified. I mean, how can you? I don't know how anyone could think.
Islands of the Beast.
Islands of the Blessed.
Oh, sorry, I need new glasses.
This is a book I did together with Howard Glynn,
not to be
my
confused
poetry.
with Norman Roston.
Right,
okay.
right. And then I did Writing the West End Express, which was about the B train. I brought that today because it's an experience about the train, which is what I took to come out here.
Ah, but did you take, we got to be honest here, did you really take the B train?
I took the B to Coney Island. This is how you have to do it. And then you get off and you look for the Q, and there is no Q. They tell you to take the D, and they promise you that is the Q. And you get on, and it is a Q, and it's on the D line.
That's the transit authority for you every time. But rather than give everybody a headache, I think I'd rather give them a poem. So how about giving them a poem?
Okay. I thought I would open up with a poem that everyone seems to like the most or ask me to read when I'm giving readings, and it's called Secrets. I'd like to say something about this poem first, because a lot of the things I write in the first person, but they don't necessarily mean me. They may be a composite of other people or one person in particular. Secrets. I gave him a secret. He promised he'd never tell, but he told. And he told her, of all people, the one person who shouldn't know the secret. Now, how can I trust anyone else again? I grow paranoid thinking, I dare not trust anyone. For if he told her, wouldn't the others tell too? I'll have to keep my secrets in my sweater drawer, the one with the mothballs. I know, I'll hide them under the drawer paper where no one can see. But maybe I shouldn't write them down. Someone might find them and tell. I'll have to keep my secrets in my head. Oh, my head grows heavy with the weight of it. I have to use my hands to hold up my head. Secrets, these darn secrets. And I have trouble keeping them apart. Somehow, they all want to get together and compare and mix one story with another. Secrets meet and march in my head, bumping into each other. My head gets dizzy from the buzzing they make. They want to get together and tell each other secrets. But can a secret trust a secret? What happened to trust when trust went out slamming the door behind him? I go to the doctor. I complain about the buzzing in my head. He gives me pills. A little blue one to stop the buzzing, and a pink one to help me sleep. I toss in my bed at night. Secrets never rest. I get up from my bed Go outside into the pale glow of the moon. I scratch my secrets into the rusty earth. It rains, or maybe I'm crying. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The secrets are gone.
Ah. And in this case, and with the tradition of the art gallery, the pink and the blue combine to make green, right?
Yeah, it's something like that.
Anyway,
I think it's yellow and blue make green.
well, it depends on how many of the pink
And your mood, right?
take. Yes, that too. I admire your courage in talking about secrets in front of an angel here, because you know, when you tell one angel, you tell them all. They have a very loose network, and they know everything. Ah.
And they can dance on the tops of heads of pins.
Yeah, but their feet hurt. That's okay. How did you drift into the poetry racket as opposed to dancing on the head of a pin?
Well, I was a dancer at one time too, but I've always been writing.
A pin dancer or a balloon dancer or what?
No, I was a folk dancer.
Ah. A fan dancer?
No, I didn't do fan dancing. I did Scandinavian folk dancing. Right. And other types of dancing. I did theater.
That's Scandinavian folk dancing is a perfectly natural preliminary to poetry, I suppose.
No, I think what happens is that when you're raised on folk dancing and folk music, you get interested in the words that go with the music, and when you're a singer, you start paying attention to the words because you have to memorize them when you perform them. And so in between sets, waiting around for people to set up, because I started this when I was like 6 years old, I started writing poetry.
Ah, that explains it. Well, we're interested in the words too, so how about another poem?
Another poem.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I'll read this one, which mentions angels in it. This is a serious poem. I wrote this one about my dad, and I brought this today because we are down in the Sheepshead Bay area of Brooklyn, and it's an area that my father was a captain, a sea captain, and so I have a very wonderful, close feeling to the sea, and you'll see that in this poem. It's called Dear Dad. Now that you have vanished into uncharted waters, forgive my tears. For I could not uncopper the leaves or bid the sun to stay a little longer. With all my delicacies, my songs, my poems, my witty attempts to detain you, you departed, leaving me kneeling on the sand, my tiny candle lit, begging the tide to hold back. But it decided to play in consort with you, to adhere to the moon, withdrawing gently your ship and all your precious cargo. I cannot walk the widow's walk and comfort my mother. We know the sun will never rise as orange again over the horizon. I have learned I cannot beat back winds with thread or capture rain with thimbles. My eyes today are sharper. I will begin to sew my marina from the stars, knowing that lamentations are better left to angels who know how to dance on the heads of pins. Weaving my tapestry by the red light of Mars from pearls, butterfly wings, and sealing wax with these rosined hands, I will make a silvery, silken fabric so strong it will carry me off one day to balloon in pink sequined majesty beside you.
Well, you know, as a sea captain, he had to leave on a specific schedule because time and tide wait for lo mein, especially if he's sailing to Shanghai.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we can slip in one more little short poem.
Okay. And maybe I should do something that's on a lighter tone. This one is appropriate since this is I took the B train to get out here and I had to ride past Brighton Beach.
Yes.
It's called Overheard on the Train to Brighton Beach.
What a coincidence.
And it's a conversation which I thought was really fun, and it had a double meaning to it.
Uh-oh.
But it's straight, you know. You can read it in PG-13. It goes like this. Overheard on the train to Brighton Beach. Hear me, boy, I can swim. I swim. I swim. You cannot drown me, make me choke with salt in my nose. I can swim. You thought leading me to the deep water would make me lean upon you, make me want to hang about your neck like seaweed? Surprise! I can swim. Underwater I can see you, but you can't see me. Underwater I'm the queen of the violet sea. It's in the deep you'll be forced to breathe with me. Waiting for you, I grew webbed feet, learned to hold my breath. You know how to swim, but you can't float. When you tire of your splashing and sink beneath the oil-bound water, I will have departed with the salmon, negotiated the currents, and escaped the weirs with my sisters upstream. For I can really swim. I can swim. And like the otter, my coat is thick, my teeth sharp. Winter is coming, and with it the pack ice that will heave you aloft, make you fit for carrying, but not me, for I can swim.
Ah, thank you, Marion Palm, for being on Poet the Poet. I hope you can do the backstroke, because we'll be backstroking in a moment with Andrew Clark, so stay with us.